it's Kim here. I just wanted to show y'all how easy the process is for refinishing these rosettes. So the first step is to paint strip. So we use the Cooper's Strip Club for that. You can see here that some of the paint has come off, and there's like the original shellac under there. And here's our piece that we finished. So it's a pretty similar color. This is obviously a little bit old and beat up. So staying pretty true to the house. And then here is one that's been stripped. It needs a bit of wood fill here and there for like nail holes, a little bit of cracking. And then this one here that we're gonna work on today has been wood filled. Which is a super easy process. You just put the wood fill in, put it as thin as you can. That's what I like to do. So you don't have to sand a whole lot. And then you sand off the excess till it's smooth. And then we'll shellac this, but here's a finished piece that has been shellacked, and we use the paste finishing wax over it, and then you buff it off to make it nice and smooth and not sticky. So let's go to the first part of the process, which is stripping the paint. Alrighty, so we're gonna start shellacking. So it's just shellac and denatured alcohol in here mixed up, and then you'll take a piece of cloth. You wanna find a smooth piece without any seams or anything, and then just start smoothing over it and get the shellac on there. A thin coat, you don't want it to be too wet because then it'll pool. And the shellac isn't gonna hurt you if you do get it on you. It's just the denatured alcohol. It's just a little sticky. So you want to go with the grain for the most part. Make sure it goes with it so that it's nice and even. And then we're going to go in here real quick. A little bit dripped, so. But obviously in these round areas, you can't go with the grain too easily. Okay, so as you can see, the finished piece is darker than the one I've just started. This only has one coat on it. This one has probably 5 or 6. So I'm going to do 4 to 5 more coats on this. And then we're going to put that in a time lapse, and then we'll be back with you, okay? All right, so I've got all of my shellac on. You can see that it's pretty similar in color to this, the one that's already finished up. So now we're going to take some steel wool and just finely sand off any rough edges or any chunky pieces. So we're just going to do that. And I just want to go over shellac. It's not good for floors or any surface that you would have alcohol on, like, you know, a dining table or kitchen countertops, of course, because the alcohol will remove the shellac. So. All right, and so now we're going to use the paste finishing wax to finish up the piece. This stuff is stinky, so you need to have the area well ventilated. We've got 3 windows open in here, and I'm wearing a mask and my glasses, of course, for protection. If you don't have like as good a ventilation in here, you're gonna wanna use a respirator.
Or use it outside.
Yeah, or do it outside. So all you gotta do is just get a little bit on some steel wool and then just kind of rub it in with your wool. And so the wax is good for giving it a little bit of waterproofing, just a little bit. So if you splash something on it as you're walking by, it's not gonna like ruin it. And it also takes it from like being super shiny to just more of a natural glow to the wood. Alrighty, so now I am going to buff the wax off. So ideally you wouldn't be using a paper towel, you'd be using a piece of like t-shirt cloth, like a cloth rag from Lowe's, or an old t-shirt. We don't have any here at the moment, so in a pinch, paper towels will work. So I'm just gonna start removing the wax, the excess, and then buffing it down. Alrighty, so here's the finished piece. It's all waxed up and buffed. Nice and pretty, shiny. Just like this one. This one I feel like has a little bit more, this one has like a larger wood grain to it, and this one has a small, you know, like a very close together, like it was closer to the inside of the tree. So it's got a little bit more of a bumpiness to him, but it looks really good. And so this is the de-waxed garnet shellac that Caleb gets. He buys it off of Amazon, so it's just little chips, and you mix it in with the denatured alcohol, and they dissolve, and they become shellac. All right, so here are all the steps of the process. So unstripped, stripped wood, and then the finished shellacked and waxed piece. It's not a hard process. Anyone can do it. It's just a bit time consuming to get all the paint off. And then, you know, take your time with the shellacking, take your time between layers, make sure it's nice and dry between your layers, make sure it's nice and dry before you steel wool the excess off, or any little lumps and bumps, and then waxing. Take your time with that. Make sure you buff it out so it's nice and smooth and you can run your hand over it easily. So that's about it. And make sure, you know, if you've got any little chunks here, you would fill those and sand them down. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in next Monday's video. Bye.